I've been told that the audience here will be from the business community. And is there anything that I can contribute to their well-being of their business, the well-being of maybe the services that they are providing, or even the well-being of that individual in the job that they are engaged in. The well-being word is very important. Why? Because you did not come into business really to make any profit. You came into the business to have a greater access of delivering well-being, either to the community or to people or to maybe just one person who is working with you and one person you are serving. But unfortunately, this well-being has been pushed into the background, and what has been replaced with is how can I extract more and more from the people around me, from my clients, from my employees, from my company, from my boss, from my assistants. The well-being is never thought of. I worked I did not work. I had a company which manufactured nuts and bolts. Okay. Now, if you know anything about nuts and bolts, it is placed into the C category. What does C category basically mean is that you will be treated with utmost disrespect in terms of the importance the company has for you. Which means that suppliers are more, demand is less. Number two, you will be paid only when they have paid all the A vendors and B vendors. That is when they will pay the C vendors. And the C vendors always were like never paid on time, never they really had to struggle to get their money from their business clients. I worked in with such a product which was in which competition was maximum, in which the clients exploited, and clients never wanted to give you the payment. But something that is very interesting I noticed throughout my life. I was able to do my business and I was able to expand my business without taking any bank loan. This was something my competitors did not understand how I do it. Because they felt that it is not possible to really run your business and expand your business without taking loans. But I had two philosophies which was guiding me. The first philosophy was that no matter when I get my money, I will make sure that people who are supplying me, they get their payment when I said that I will give them. So if I have made an agreement for 1 month credit or 2 months credit or 3 months credit, I made sure that they got it accordingly. Also, I had a system of paying them between 25th and 30th of every month. So on the 1st of every month, I used to really make a list of whom I have to pay between 25 and 30 in this month. And I would kind of say, may this money come to me, I don't know from where, so that I am able to honor this list. And the business that I did for almost 25 years, maybe more, I never failed to make payment to my suppliers. when I wanted to make payment. Only probably 2 or 3 times in this 25 plus years, I had to pay them between 1st and 7th of next month. The second philosophy, I will not take any money home unless I have paid to all the people who are working under me. So that is what I ensured always. And we had a fixed date on which we would make that salary, and every month on that date for years and years, we were able to pay. My competitors always like, how do you do it? Because they were struggling, and I never had any cash flow problem for such a long time. But the secret is well-being. You take care of others. You cannot take care, you do not have a leverage over your clients, but you have leverage in ensuring that you pay to your suppliers and you pay to the people who work with you, under you. And when this philosophy becomes the guiding principle of your life, life will become easy, life will become smooth. And that's what was really important for me. Making money was not important for me. I never cared about money. How much my business grows, I never cared. How much of orders are coming, I never cared. Because I was not in business really to make money. I was there just to sustain myself at a very minimal standard of living. I had no ambitions. And because I had no ambitions, life did not have any leverage over me. And what I mean by that is that those forces, the dark forces, they could not use me for their advantage in order to create all kind of mischief and nuisance for other people. And you have to understand one thing. Every business is not about what you do, but about the forces that are behind you. What they are doing to you, to your business, to the people who are working for you, to the clients whom you serve. So delivering is very important. If you said you will deliver, make sure you deliver. So I'm giving you this thing. Always remember that there were two brothers who both started together at the top of their, what I would say, career. They split their empire. One went up, the other went down. The one went up wasn't really all that intelligent. The one who went down wasn't also stupid. And yet that was the reality that showed up. It wasn't as to who they were. What it was about was what was behind them. There was a certain amount of integrity one brother had, which was lacking with the other brother. And well-being is one of the mark of really bringing integrity into your business. So that is kind of, from my life, I shared to you about this. At some point of time, I did give up my business because there was a voice that said it is time to go, and I assumed whatever was telling me will take care of me, but I wasn't to know that it wouldn't take care of me. So when I left a flourishing business, and I thought I will be able to sustain, but over a period of certain time, I realized that I was down to the last paisa I had. It broke me, it broke my confidence, totally shattered me. It left me with a question mark that did I really make the right decision or not? And what was so painful about that was really not about not having money, but because I lost my image, I lost my credibility, I lost my social standing. And so it was very natural for a phase of depression to follow. I knew certain healing modalities which I used to come out of the depression. Some people who were still with me, they said, "How did you come out? Why not teach me?" So I started teaching them. And then started a whole career of what I call the healing practices. I had a way of knowing the bottom line of all healing practices. I could penetrate the unseen, I could penetrate the unknown to really know what ticks, what makes it go, what makes it happen. And then somewhere along with working with these modalities, I felt, what if I had my own modality? So I sent out a message to the universe, not knowing who is going to listen. The message was very simple. If anyone wants to give me my own modality, or a modality which is not covered under a copyright act, I would love it. And so someone came and gave me that modality. I taught that modality in my next class. And then one lady came and said, Shiva is here. What is he doing here? She was a clairvoyant, a psychic. She could know many things. And that was a confirmation for me, because I knew the one who came and gave me the protocol was Shiva. Now, unlike the way humans deal with the deities, I don't deal with them. Why I don't deal with them? Because I never considered them to be greater than me. It's just that if someone is a very heavy-set man who is a weightlifter, definitely can lift a weight of 100 kg, 200 kg, and I might be struggling with only 20 kg. But that doesn't mean that person really is greater than me. It's just that he has certain abilities which I don't. And that does not make me revere that person, put that person on the pedestal. It does not make me to worship that person. It does not make me wanting to please that person. And so it is with the deities. I know the deities. I talk with them, but I never worship them. And I know what are the games these deities play, because I know them in and out. But talking all these things to humans is one problem. The humans say, you are destroying our belief. You are destroying our trust. You are destroying our faith. And these three words means huge to the humans. You cannot take away anyone's trust, faith, and belief. If you do that, they will kill you. And coming to me, that's exactly what will happen. It will take away your religion. It will take away your spirituality. Because I know them in and out. I know the game happening in the unseen world. I know how they are manipulating the humans. I know how they are using the humans. And knowing all that, I tell you that the best card that you have in your business is take care of others. Create well-being for the people that you can. And in the business world, take care of your employees, take care of your suppliers, and fulfill your commitment to your clients. To that extent, you will give less leverage to these unseen forces to unnecessarily create nuisance in your life. So at some point of time, I was telling you, then I started with the deities, and then after Shiva, there were others who came. It was Rama who came, Krishna who came. Certain gurus came who were known as Sai Baba, who were known as Mahavatar Babaji, the great yogi. So I have worked with them all. I have used their so-called wisdom and modalities, and people have benefited. But at some point I realized that they all went away. They didn't want to really associate with me. Something happened that did not make any sense at that point of time. And so I was like, I don't know what happened. I couldn't contact them. I couldn't talk with them. And then one night someone came into my head and said, it is time to work with me for me. So I said, who are you? He said, I am God. I said, which God? Supreme God. I said, okay. So I knew by that time many of the gods, all the gods, upper and lower, the nice, so-called nice ones and so-called bad ones. Because the ones you think nice are not really nice. The ones you think bad are not really bad. But anyway, and so then began a work that I didn't know would be so complicated, would have so many challenges, will have so many frustrations, huge amount of frustrations I had to go through. I was tested every moment. Because the one that I associated with refused to protect me. Refused to protect me from all that was against me. And by that time I had already taken on the wrath of the king of this multiverse and all the deities and all the demons and all the satanic and demonic creatures, everyone in the lower world, everyone in the upper world. After they would beat me, I could heal myself, but I couldn't stop them from doing what they were doing to me. And it went on for years and years and years. And every moment I broke down, I had to regenerate myself into a commitment of working for God, working with God, being with God. They wanted to give me everything that a human would want, not only in the material world, but even in the spiritual world. But I told them that I have no desires. I have no wanting. What will you give me? I had come to that stage. I was past 60. I said, I have lived my life. I am ready for death. So there was no way they could give me anything. They could use anything in me to leverage and take me away from God. And so one day I completed that journey. It took 8 years. The work was about sending the souls back home, bringing them out of the trap of the king, out of the trap of the matrix. And when the work was done, we completed in August 2023. That's when God said, okay, now I'll work for the humans. And how do I work? Because earlier I was delivering a 3-day workshop, which was done in a closed auditorium. There were around 200, 300 people who would show up for the workshop. I would deliver. But now God said, let's go out into the open. It was scary. Because I knew what these materials are. And I knew these materials will go against everyone. Every institution, every individual who has a vested interest. Everyone will be against me. But I also knew the beauty of this material. That this material will really heal people. So the intellectuals who read my book, they didn't like it. They made me wrong. And I said, how does it matter? Even I didn't believe God for 5 years. Why should you believe my book in 5 minutes? Test it. But they wouldn't test it. They would reject it, they would judge it, they would condemn it, they would criticize it, they would be disrespectful towards the book. But that was them. God said this book is for the common people. People who have pain, people who have suffering. Let the book go to them. Let them talk to the book. There's no need to read the book. If you get a book which is in English and you don't understand English, fine, just talk with the book. This is a book that is live. This is a book that delivers. This is a book that heals. 10,000 books have gone out. And tons of people came and thanked me for what the book did to them, to their life. So what I am giving you is so simple. It's very ordinary. And we do not want you to have any faith. We do not want you to have any belief. We do not want you to have any reverence. Do not treat this like a holy book. This is not a holy book. This is a tool. But respect this book. Do not be disrespectful. Respect it as you would respect any other human. I'm not saying that really put it into your puja room, really do puja on it, really put flowers on it, really do all the agarbatti and everything, chandan. No, none of those things. It's just with you in the drawer, that's all, in your bag. Take it out when you are really down, talk to the book, keep it back into the drawer. Talk it like you talk to a doctor, to a therapist, to a friend, to someone who doesn't judge you, to someone who doesn't criticize you, to someone who doesn't tell you how many mistakes that you have made. This book will not do any of those things to you. God doesn't care how many mistakes you made. God doesn't care if you are good or bad. But once you come to God, and if you are being with God, you will not want to hurt anyone. If you follow the will of God, life may not be extraordinary, but it will be beautiful, it will have a flow, you will enjoy life, you will really enjoy living. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter whether you are on a two-wheeler or you are on a four-wheeler. It doesn't matter if you drive a Maruti Suzuki car or you drive a Mercedes or Jaguar. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter whether you stay in a one-room kitchen house or you stay in a 10-room kitchen house. It doesn't matter. All those things comes to you because life gives them to you. And if it is meant to come to you, it will come to you. The game to play is that when you are playing the game, play 100%. The best that you can deliver. And play it with integrity. Play it with authenticity. Play it in such a way that you take care of others, others' well-being, and they will take care of your well-being. In the beginning, it might seem to be counterintuitive and counter-rational. Because everyone thinks, someone once told me, you know what is the meaning of marketing? He said, Maro or Kato. And I said, oh, really? But unfortunately, I never could do marketing. Because neither I could hit people nor I could extract from them. But they say, look into all these big businessmen. What are they doing? They're just doing exactly that. I said, yeah, they are doing it. But it is not my journey. My journey is, I want to enjoy life. And enjoying life is not driving an Audi. It is not having a four-wheeler. It is not really about anything. Enjoying life means simple and ordinary. You cannot enjoy life outside simple and ordinary. You cannot enjoy life unless you are taking care of others. Because you cannot take much care about yourself. But it is true. All the people who are today venerated for their success are people who are demonic. What do I mean by demonic? These are the people who really know how to control, how to dominate, how to manipulate. If that appeals to you, you are welcome. But there is no life there. Because if that was so, these people wouldn't need tons of liquor and tons of other things to really ease their life at the end of the day. These people live in perpetual fear. There is a fear of losing what you have. There is a fear of others taking advantage of you. I don't like to live in a state of constant fear, because then I won't be able to enjoy life. And so my life has always been very simple, very ordinary. One thing I always worked on, if the moment I become aware that my self-importance is coming into the forefront, I actually start releasing my self-importance. The moment I become aware that I am wanting something, I release my wanting. The moment I become aware that I am expecting something from someone, I release my expectations. And my life today is almost like more than 70% not having any wanting, not having any desires, not having any expectations. And that life is beautiful from the place where I am telling you. Unless you experience that life, you wouldn't really know how beautiful it is. And yet, it is your life. You will decide how you want to live. As a speaker shares his own life. I have shared my own life, my own skills. Okay. This is actually God says to me that what is your money worth? Either it is lying with your clients, or it is lying in the bank, or it is lying in the stock exchange, which the companies are using or someone is using. How do you know it will be available to you when you really want that money? So money only gives you a psychological satisfaction that someday if bad things happen to me, I will be able to use it. It's only psychological. So many people had so much of money, they couldn't use it. For whatever reasons, there are multiple reasons. So God says that money is not going to be with you. What is going to be with you is your body. This is what you are going to experience 24/7. So instead of really taking care of your money, take care of your body. Not in terms of making it presentable, not in terms of making it glamorous, not in terms of making it what they would call it like a model, but really having ease in your body. So do yoga, do walking, do aerobics, do swimming, do whatever you like to do dancing, move the body, keep the body fit, eat moderately, do not try to eat more. And God is in favor of what is known as 16 hours fasting, which kind of cleanses the body. And eat those food which suits you, and don't eat those foods which don't suit you, which means eat food which is freshly cooked. So even God is saying that these are the things which will keep your body at ease. And this is a blessing, having a body which is at ease, which is not complaining to you, which is not painful to you, which is not creating all kind of turbulence in your life. Because this is what is with us 24/7, not our money, not the car, that expensive car that I bought and is lying somewhere in a garage, not the house in which it may be 4-bedroom, but I hardly live in 1-bedroom only. These are show-off. And the second thing that God says, go beyond your comfort zone. It doesn't matter what your comfort zone is. Step out. And my life has been a living example of how God pushed me into all kind of uncomfortable ways. Earlier I would fight, I would resist, I wouldn't listen to God. And it's like I talk with God the way I talk with you. And some people ask me, how do you know you're talking with God? Because I know everything that is not God. Because in order to know whether you are talking to God, you have to know also everything which is not God. Everything from top to bottom, the upper worlds and the lower worlds. Then only you will come to know whether you are talking with God or not. But that's another subject. The point is, step out of your comfort zone. Because that's one thing that will make life really delicious. Comfort zone never makes life delicious. You may be very uncomfortable going out of the comfort zone, but stepping out and falling on the face and yet persisting eventually delivers certain experiences of life which is much beautiful than remaining in your comfort zone. So that's another thing that God says.
Please.
Thank you, Pradip sir, for such an enlightening session. I am sure the mantra would help. The mantra that you are going to give is going to help all of us to better our lives. Sir, actually, I am bringing in a lot of entrepreneurs and business people today here. And I could feel that every entrepreneur's and business person's life is full of stress. So, some days ago, so I was feeling so overwhelmed with a lot of stress, and the backside of my, head was aching like anything. I never felt that ever in my life. So I was unable to understand why it was happening. It was a series of past events or what or not, I don't know. Is there any immediate remedy to just tackle that particular moment? I'm sure a lot of people, in this room have experienced such kind of overwhelming situations in life. So is there any way to tackle it in a fast way to, just calm our
Yes, there
mind?
is. That's what we said, that at the end of the book we have given you a protocol. The protocol goes like this. Issue. May I have your grace, God? What is this issue? The second line is very clear. May I have your grace, God? But what is this issue? Issue is my headache, my backache, my leg ache, my knees are hurting, my stomach is grumbling, not feeling good in my abdomen, all the bloating sensations, then all the stress that I am having, all the, you can release on your money blockages, you can release on people taking advantage of you, you can release on, what else we release on? Anxiety, fear, concern, not being paid on time, anxiety about money. So these are all issues. So there are many books, self-help books, which teach you how to release on the on the issues that you have. Many self-help books are there. One of the book is like, what is that? Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Louise Hay. So that's like one book which tells you so many things about you. And all you have to do is create an issue. This is how I have this. You see, I was not able to forgive my father for a long time, and also not forgive my mother for a long time. And I kept on releasing on them. Why I had to do it many times is because there were multiple layers which I had built up over a period of 50, 60 years. Many incidents. And when you forgive yourself and when you forgive particularly your parents, I'm not saying being nice to them. Forgiveness is not about being nice to anyone. And I'm also not telling that don't be nice to them. But I'm just saying that being nice to anyone is not forgiving people. So, forgiving people, forgiving yourself, very important. And everything you said, like having a stiff neck, not able to move my neck, my head is going heavy, all the aches and pains in my body, all the flu symptoms that I'm having, all the fever that I'm having. Just play with it. You have multiple issues. Keep releasing. And even out of 10 you say and 5 gets result. What's wrong in that? Again bring up 10 things. And again get results in 5. So that's the benefit you will have once you get initiated to this protocol by reading the book. Any other question you have? Okay. Any other question the group here would have? If you ask questions, then new things might show up in me, in my talk. 10,000 books have been distributed and they all are so thankful that this book is so healing my life. क्या करते हैं? कुछ भी नहीं, पकड़ के बैठे रहते हैं, उससे बात करते हैं. They just pour out their heart. आज ये हुआ, वो हुआ. I'm so angry. I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I cannot decide. Just keep telling. And in this, what works is like really becoming like a child, not becoming like an adult. Yes. Why? I stopped doing that workshop because the job was done. The job of sending the souls back home. We had opened we facilitated their going back home. Only thing is now, when the humans die, they will go back. Which is true. That is why we say, play with the book, play with the mantra, play with the releasing protocol, and see what shows up in your life, because that will be your confirmation that the book delivers. After that, if you feel the book is delivering, continue. If the book is not delivering, put it aside. No, the book is already delivering, so continue speaking to the book. My job is giving the book, and I'm doing that. I'm not the one who will be guiding you. The book is sufficient. Because when I have to work with thousands of people, I really cannot do individual guidance. Earlier I used to do, but now I am not doing. Because it's almost like morning till night, my WhatsApp is full. I can't even answer all. So it's another phase of the work where I deliver the book and let book do the job.
But how we know that book is working or we are in the right way we are doing
With
it?
the experiences you will have. If your headache goes down, you know it happened. If your anxiety goes down, you know it happened.
And regarding that rod you have shown,
The rod is like you have to practice, and not necessary that you have to. Many people hold the rod and get a yes and no.
but we may be again too dependent. No, before going out, no, we'll put the rod and see whether I should go or not. Something like
Normally people do that when they retire back home or get up in the morning,
Yeah.
or sometimes they do it in the office also. And to that extent you can decide.
Because again, no, if you have a rod, this kind of things, no, whether I go for this tender, yes or no, as Mr. Chinmoy has said, or before signing a check, maybe I'll be too dependent on that.
Well, as such, currently you are dependent on what?
Nothing.
Now you are dependent on your mind.
Mine.
So check and see if you are dependent on something called God.
That is what or not.
Does that serve you more than what your mind is serving you?
So today, if I buy a rod, how long it will take?
I have no idea. For me, it took 3 years.
So every day I have to
So
practice
just
that?
hold the rod. If you feel it is something you want to play with, buy it. If you feel it is not something that really is calling you, don't buy.
No, I feel like buying, but then I'm just thinking where from I get the training?
There is no training. I showed
Just
you the
hold-
way.
Just hold that way.
Just do it. And then go into the YouTube videos where they teach you how to use the rod,
Okay.
the
that's
dowsing
option.
dowsing rods.
Dowsing rod, YouTube.
It's all there. There are workshops they do where they teach you how to use dowsing rods.
Fine, fair enough. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Any other questions before we... there's a lady there.
Thank you, sir, for this session. I'm very thankful to attend this session of the office. Sir, if you don't mind, I would just like to ask, if you feel comfortable, can I please know the meaning of the mantra? Like, what's the difference between Om and Aum?
What is the difference between Om and Aum?
And what's the
Om is
actual-
actually used by king. But nowadays, many of the mantras that are coming from the king is also coming with the word Aum. Because there is a chess game going on between God and the king. So the king creates a firewall, the God does not destroy the firewall, the God circumvents, king again creates another block, God again circumvents. So all these things are going on. So everything in the happening there is a very complex game that is happening.
Okay,
So
sir.
what you read the book, a lot will become clear to you.
Sir, also the meaning of the mantra, like what it says.
What the meaning of the mantra?
Yes.
As such, it doesn't really mean much. So it is like a Aum. Aum is almost like a way, it is a password to connect. Then we say goddess and then say God, which is Bhagwati, Bhagwate. And we offer our salutation to both of them. And then in the end, we end it with the name of Bhagwati. That is all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ron, take the mic. Any other question? There are certain monthly meets that we have kept. Up till now, I haven't yet taken a single one. It will be on the Zoom. If you want to come and ask me questions in the monthly meet, you can register. So I'll be starting the Zoom sessions because now there are no more classes. So those who have read the book, in the book there is a QR code which takes you to the monthly meeting form. Put in your name. Whenever I am going to do that meeting, a notice will go out to you and you can join on that time. So where is Varsha? Now it's time for you to close. Unless you bring in one more question.
Sir, I have
There's a question where?
Yeah. Sir, I am...
My left. Okay, I connected with you, please.
Yeah. Sir, like I am using a trouser made out of crystal. So, will that be...
Dowsing, use, when you say dowser, what exactly you are using?
It's like
the pendulum. Okay, you are using pendulum.
Like, yes, sir.
God is not much in favor of using the pendulum because that can be programmed, that can be easily contaminated. So give it a try if you can see whether the rod works for you or not. Okay? 1 second. Okay, continue. Continue with that tool that you are using. You get a yes and no, na?
Like there is excellent and...
So ask the pendulum, show me your...
excellent.
Yeah, so check out your yes and no. And on the basis of that, ask your questions.
At the moment, I don't have.
You don't... How do you use the pendulum then?
It's there in my place.
Anna, do you use it?
Sometimes, yeah. Because
what do you do with the pendulum? How do you use it?
Like regularly I am not using.
But whenever you are using, how do you use?
Yeah, I put a question and it shows that whether it's good, bad, like poor, excellent, like that result is showing.
So ask your pendulum, show me your yes, and then ask, show me your no.
Yeah, yes, like this.
So that
like
means
this.
you already know.
Yeah.
So on that basis, you can ask your questions to God. Structure the question in such a way that its answer should be in yes and no.
Yeah.
Okay? Do not say to God, tell me what I should do tomorrow. Now it is not a yes and no.
Because in the sheet which I am having, like I put the trouser in that.
Do not use the sheet.
Okay.
Keep the sheet aside and just
yes or
no. Tell the pendulum, show me your yes. Okay. Show me your no. Once you have that direction, now go into all kind of other questions.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.